Our HBO Latino Channels card will feature former champ Jesse James Leija. HBO Boxing for 30 years, building legends one round at a time. And now for a truly special moment. You know his voice, you may not know his face. Harold Lederman is boxing's best-known judge, and at least 3 or 4 of you have clamored on the website to learn more about him. So here, for those 3 or 4 of you who asked, is the story. Fight fans know the voice.
There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight.
But the face of boxing's best-known judge has always been a mystery, even at ringside.
George is next to Jim, Larry's next to George, and I'm next to Larry. I wouldn't want to be any other place but next to Larry Merchant. That's where all the action is these days.
Introducing Harold Lederman. By day, he's pharmacist Harold Lederman, faithfully filling prescriptions for the past 40 years. By night, he's HBO's high-decibel, unofficial judge. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 30-26, 3 rounds to nothing. Marco Antonio Barrera.
Harold's passion for boxing is unmistakable and incomparable.
The Los Angeles Sports Arena held 18,000 people and nobody was there, and I got a poster. Laminated letter from Oscar de la Hoya thanking me for a wedding gift. We're known in framing stores throughout Rockland County. I mean, I got stuff in these drawers that I guess doesn't have much value or much meaning, but, you know, to me they sort of mean a lot.
The lifelong love affair began nearly 60 years ago.
My father started taking me to the fights as soon as he could get me in the door. I couldn't have been older than 4 or 5.
Letterman became a second-generation fight fan, and later, a third-generation pharmacist.
My father was a pharmacist, my grandfather was a pharmacist, my father's 3 brothers were pharmacists, and my mother's 3 brothers were pharmacists. So I would say the whole family was pharmacists.
In 1965, now married to the former Eileen Brooke, Letterman began judging boxing.
I used to judge 20 fights a night, 5 nights a week, and they would pay you $5 to judge 20 fights. It was incredible. And I was the house judge at the Audubon Ballroom because when you got out of the fights, you know, you ran like a son of a gun hoping to get to your car before the muggers could get you.
Eventually, the assignments got better. Most notably, he judged the 3rd fight between Muhammad Ali and Ken Norton at Yankee Stadium. But it was a call from HBO in 1986 that put Harold Letterman on the path to a Hall of Fame career.
I got a call from Ross Greenberg, and he said, Harold, he said, how would you like to work a fight for us? And I said, sure, why not?
Letterman's first assignment, a heavyweight title bout between Trevor Berbick and the heavily favored Pinklon Thomas.
They said, Thomas is a 7-to-1 favorite. He'll knock out Berbick in the 1st round, and my career on HBO will be very abruptly over.
Instead, Berbick won a close decision, as Letterman predicted immediately following the fight.
The effective aggressiveness of Trevor Berbick should win him the fight. I think that we will see a new champion.
And so the formula was set. Letterman judged fights with his headset off to avoid being influenced by the other announcers, then put his headset on and told viewers what he saw.
I have it 7 rounds to 5 in favor of Sugar Ray Leonard.
I disagree totally. Felix Trinidad deserves a draw. There were no even rounds.
Back home in suburban New York, the Letterman family lives with the reality that boxing comes first.
The day before my sister got married, he had a fight. He flew in the morning of my sister's wedding. Okay, that's a devoted fight fan.
Letterman's home may be the best illustration of that devotion.
I must have the world's greatest collection of boxing books, but unfortunately, as you see, they're a little bit thrown around. Russell Puffs don't know about all the posters that I stole from him over the years in Philadelphia. I guess they're worth a fortune, but Russell ain't getting them back. If I pull one of these HBO production books, I think I may start a domino effect and kill myself, but we'll try. After a while, it just consumes you. To tell you the truth, it just took over the house. And this is really what Eileen hasn't thrown out yet.
The owner of the pharmacy that he was working with didn't want him to take off so much. So we said, well, if you go to Japan, you lose a job. And he said, well, I guess that's it for the job. And he went to Japan. So in about 34 years, he had like 32 jobs because there was always a fight somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I used to get fired all the time. I mean, it's a tough way to live.
But the drawbacks are far outweighed by the chance to be so closely involved with the sport he loves so much.
I really, really never thought when I started judging boxing that it would go beyond judging. It progressed so much further than I ever expected. I never realized that, hey, I may catch on as a commentator. So I guess, you know, I really lucked out, and I'm extremely happy, and couldn't ask for any more.
And now hit the record button on your VCRs. Here's a collector's item, a live shot of Harold Letterman at ringside. We give it to you because we know you love him. And Harold, we love you too. All right. Thanks very much for that. And now let's get ready for Floyd Mayweather Jr. in his latest title defense against Victoriano Sosa, the Dominican Republic. Larry, the build-up to this fight saw many of the headlines suddenly stolen by the suggestion on the part of Mayweather that he wants to go up 19 pounds in weight and fight Oscar De La Hoya. What's that all about?
It's about changing the subject. In football, they call it misdirection. If you are a virtuoso boxer fighter like Floyd Mayweather Jr., and you're fighting an opponent, a challenger, who is not quite an elite challenger, and also you've been sort of banished from your adopted hometown of Las Vegas to Fresno, going to the raisin capital of the world from the hell raisin capital of the world, you look for a headline somewhere else. So he picked De La Hoya, the biggest box office attraction in the game, just as he once called out the Prince, Nassim. And he has about as much chance of fighting De La Hoya as he had of fighting Nassim.
0 or less than 0?
Call it 0.
Okay, to be generous. George Foreman, the Dominican challenger here, Victoriano Sosa, like his very famous second cousin, Sammy Sosa, has some power. So does he go in and attack Mayweather and pray that that's the right thing to do, or does he just wait and hope that a chance comes to him?
You got to get in there and take a title away from a champion. You can't play around, win every fight round. Keep him on the ropes. That's what Mayweather has no kind of defense at all. You can win one round at a time and end up a new champion if you keep him on the ropes.
Yeah, we saw the difficulty Mayweather had in his first fight against Jose Luis Castillo when his back was against the ropes much of the fight.
He's got to do something devastating if you're Mayweather. You got to do something devastating.
He wants to do something exciting tonight. He'll be looking to try to score a knockout, although it might require taking a chance. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape now for Floyd Mayweather Jr. against Victoriano Sosa. And you can see that despite all his accomplishments, his high ranking among the pound-for-pound stars of the sport, Mayweather's still only 26. 3 years age advantage. He gives up an inch in height. Mayweather a pound under the 135-pound limit yesterday, as was Sosa. Unofficially, Sosa will come into the ring weighing 5 pounds more. But a 1-inch reach advantage for Mayweather and a 1-inch arm length advantage for the more athletic of the two fighters. Rules of the bout with the now celebrated Harold Letterman.
The Floyd Mayweather Victoriano Sosa fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. The doctor or the referee can stop the fight. In case the cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round.
All right. We're in about a 10,000-seat arena here in Fresno. As you look around, we're looking at probably 4,000 or 5,000 empty seats. Here comes Victoriano Sosa to take his shot at joining the upset streak, which has brought so many prize fighters out of nowhere to sudden prominence this year.
A second cousin to Sammy Sosa. He says there are about 500 to 1,000 relatives in that Sosa clan. In fact, his last 2 victories were over a non-relative named Sosa.
He knocked Paul Spadafore down in the 4th round and seemed on the verge of winning a lightweight title belt, and then fell prey to Spadafore's softball tactics the rest of the way as he overcommitted and hunted for a 1-punch knockout. He looks back now and says, that was my big tactical error. I got too excited. And here comes Pretty Boy Floyd, and you see the sterling record in title fights. But George Foreman, as one of the sport's biggest stars, I must ask you, you are Floyd Mayweather Jr. You're on the top 6 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and you're fighting in Fresno. Should you learn something from that?
Well, first of all, Fresno has got a wonderful turnout tonight, but Vegas is where everybody want to be, and there's something wrong somewhere. I blame it on the promoters and the manager, not the fighter. All they're supposed to do is get in the ring and kick it. The rest is up to selling it.
All right. Mayweather openly stating to us yesterday, whether he gets to fight De La Hoya or not, he wants more exciting fights, he wants more prominence. We'll see what happens tonight. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Selland Arena here in Fresno, California, this is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Lightweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by Top Rank Incorporated in association with your king of beers, Budweiser. American Champion Sports and Palace Indian Gaming Center, sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Chairman Van Gordon Souter, Executive Officer Rob Lynch. The three judges at ringside scoring this bout on the 10-point system will be Lou Filippo, Chuck Hassett, and Jack Woodburn. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Raul Caiz Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of tonight's promoters and HBO Sports, we salute the men and women, the heroes who serve and sacrifice with valor and heroism for the armed forces of the United States of America. And now from Fresno, California, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with gold and officially weighing 134 pounds. His professional record stands at 39 bouts, 35 victories, including 26 knockouts, with 2 defeats and 2 draws. From Santiago, Dominican Republic, here is the challenger, Victoriano Sosa. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing gray trimmed with black and weighing in officially at 134 pounds. His professional record is a perfect one, consisting of 29 bouts, 29 victories, including 20 knockouts, and he commands the recognition of being one of the finest pound-for-pound fighters in the world today. From Grand Rapids, Michigan, the two-time world champion, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC lightweight champion of the world, Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather.
Una persona y el peleador. Floyd, yourself and one person. One person. I don't care. I'll translate it. Okay. Les di las instrucciones ahí abajo en el vestidor. You have your instructions downstairs. Remember, keep your punches up. Suban los golpes, both your trunks a little high. El legal blows here. Ahora, dense la mano. Shake hands and good luck to both of you gentlemen.
Except for Harold Letterman, this is not going to be a legendary night of HBO boxing, but we will get a chance to watch Floyd Mayweather Jr. and his skills.
Sosa with Mayweather.
The belts, I need one of the belts. They're going to hold it for you for a second.
Not understanding the delay here at this moment. Referee looking for a title belt. What's
Over
that
here.
all about?
Maestro. Tucker, hand it over, please. Ready, Floyd? Listo, Victoriano.
Taking a belt to a neutral corner. All right. I got it. Now the fight begins. Mayweather in the gray trunks with black trim. Sosa in the black with gold.
Sometimes boxing is like that box of candy that fella talked about. You never know what you're going to get. No matter what you think, it's still a punching match.
Well, that's been the way it is this year, that's for sure.
Floyd, who admits that his last fight was something of a bore against Castillo, is obviously determined from the way he's come out to make something sensational happen.
It's going to be rough for Floyd Mayweather to do anything devastating because he's a boxer. Really a counter punch. He likes for you to take the initiative, and he cleans up afterwards. And if he tries to overstep those boundaries, he can get himself in trouble. Tonight he should attack his man for about 3 or 4 rounds, then make him come in, then he can do what he needs to do.
And there goes Floyd, following George's instructions and going forward to attack Sosa after Sosa landed against him. Mayweather smiling now as he jabs to Sosa's body. He says that his questionable performance in the first fight against Jose Luis Castillo a year ago, a fight which earned a decision for Mayweather, but which some ringside observers thought should have gone to Castillo, was affected by a shoulder rotator cuff injury. Now he's totally healthy and ready to fight at his best.
That's why his opponent is jabbing him on his shoulder.
Mayweather slipping a punch and countering with a right hand across the top.
If I heard my opponent was going to have had something done to his shoulder or something, I would jab him on it. I'd hit him on it. Make him really rethink his attack. And Mayweather's smart now. He's jabbing to the body. This guy's allowing him, Sosa is allowing him to jab him and not do anything about it. You don't want a guy to jab you in the pit of your stomach for 3 rounds.
Mayweather says that Sosa's a guy who makes mistakes and will leave openings. He thinks he ought to be able to take advantage of one of those mistakes to do something spectacular sometime in the fight.
Don't push his head down. Stop. Stop. Sube la cabeza. Don't push his head down. Let's go.
Uncharacteristic of Mayweather to throw so many haymakers this early in a fight.
That's what he's got to do. Get so far ahead on the points that his man get careless to try to catch him, and then he can get him a knockout.
Sosa coming in, Mayweather with a quick little left hook inside. Fires the left hook again, Sosa chopping him with the right hand. Right hand inside by Mayweather, backs Sosa off. Left hook drives him into the ropes. 2 good blows by Mayweather. Sosa yells, come on. Round 1 comes to a close. Some offensive bursts by pretty boy Floyd.
Take your time. You're the best out there. Take your time. Keep fighting smart. You're going to get him out of there.
Beautiful.
You already proved what you got already.
Beautiful.
He ain't gonna want no more of that. Keep telling me how that does. Spin your bucket.
¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo te sientes?
Está bien, está bien, está bien. Cógeme aire
He
hondo.
can't stand out and wait.
Aire hondo. Aire hondo.
He's got to make the pace. Don't wait on this guy.
Aire hondo. Santo.
Left hand that Floyd took well at the end of a combination. Good action round, the first round.
Floyd Mayweather landing 16 out of 39 in the first round, and there's another stiff right hand across the top. Sosa 7 out of 33 in that round. Mayweather, despite all of his quickness and speed, does not tend to throw a lot of punches in a round. Like Roy Jones, he waits for his opportunities and then delivers a burst and then waits again.
Stop, stop, stop.
Mayweather's going back to his counter punch. Waits till the guy throw his little shot, and he does his little thing. You gotta win the first rounds if you really want to be an effective counter puncher. First, second, and third round big.
To make the opponent come to you.
Yeah, so you can then sucker him in. If you just lay back and wait, it can be a rough night.
Sosa reaching with the right hand, makes contact, tries to follow in.
Hands are free, punch. Oh, stop, stop, break, let's go.
Mayweather got touched a little bit by one of Sosa's shots that time. It really kind of got him blinking.
Stop, break, get out of
Three-punch combination by Sosa. Double left hook and a right hand. Mayweather sticking one jab at a time. Sosa bangs Mayweather's shoulder, as George suggested he should.
I would. I'd do it all night. I've heard he's got problems with his shoulder. Keep going back to the shoulder.
And that is the shoulder that had the rotator cuff problem. Mayweather's jabbing shoulder. Now there's a right and a left for Mayweather and another right hand over the top. Mayweather's confidence growing as he lands and now complaining to the referee that Sosa got him low.
The second time he's complained, the referee has ignored both complaints. The champion has to be prepared for an opponent to come in at maybe 125% as good as he's ever been before, because that's how some fight challenges are going to be.
Mayweather goes right back with that jab to the body again.
I should say 25% better than you've seen before.
Good counter right hand by Mayweather, and he tries to follow again by attacking. That time feinted with the right, fired the left. Another pretty good round for Floyd Mayweather. Next Saturday, Boxing After Dark returns with two intriguing fights. One, the long-awaited cruiserweight matchup between champion Vasily Girov and challenger James Toney. This on-again, off-again fight promises to bring passion, with the winner eyeing the omnipresent Roy Jones, the man for all divisions. Also on the Jones hit list, the other fight, light heavyweights Antonio Tarver and Montel Griffin. Tarver's been calling out Jones regularly for years, and Griffin, of course, was the winner in that disqualification loss, which is the only negative on Jones's record. HBO, for 30 years, building legends one round at a time.
Some rough stuff, followed by an overhand right as Mayweather continues to load up on punches.
All right, handle your business. Showtime.
Very precise. According to CompuBox numbers, Mayweather has thrown 39 punches in the first round and 39 punches in the second round, landing at an almost 50% clip.
Mayweather's been able to hit Sosa with some hard shots that hadn't shown any effects at this point. That's got to be something to go back to the corner and think about. If you're Mayweather, Sosa can take his best shot.
Looks that way.
And Mayweather doesn't usually invest hard shots to the body.
Now Sosa leads with the right hand to the body. Slips Mayweather's jab, but doesn't get anything done. And goes back to the body again.
This is the fight that Mayweather loves to be in. He backs away, throws shots to the body, and keep a circle movement. He can win fights like this. He loves it.
And you can see Mayweather staying off the ropes. He pauses at the ropes there, but manages to duck away. So far, Sosa hasn't been able to pin Mayweather against the ropes for any extended period of time.
It's been a long time since Mayweather had someone to press him like that with mean intentions. He goes to the chest and to the body like one of those seasoned veterans.
Wonder why boxing is exhausting and why such enormous conditioning is required. Look at the overall movement of Sosa's body as he goes in. Sosa trying to wiggle every cell in the body to present an elusive target to Mayweather as he goes after it.
You can't miss Sosa if you're Mayweather now. The body is there, the chest is there. Forget about the head.
Over the top miss for Sosa. Again, he bobs in. Having trouble telling whether there's a little cut in Sosa's right eyebrow. Something on the front of his face looks like maybe a couple of beads of blood, but it might be sweat.
Mayweather's hopping with that left jab now as he moves around. Good jab in boxing. Good fighter. This guy had been promoted in the same fashion he's been knocked around by certain people. He really gets some recognition.
Now a flurry for Sosa as he momentarily pins Mayweather in close quarters.
His promoter, George, is the same guy who promoted Oscar De La Hoya. Mayweather just didn't accept it.
So now I've figured out what I thought was a cut. The gold sequins are coming off of Sosa's trunks one by one, and as they land and nestle on his body and on Mayweather's body, they tend to look momentarily like blood.
That's Sosa's moving those shoulders back and forward, coming in with a rhythm.
He's giving a spirited challenge, but not yet an effective one.
Worked well. Hit him 1 round at a time. Beat him up. Used to be in that ring. He did all the work, so he used to be in that ring. This ain't nothing but the gym. You know, people out here, ain't nothing but the gym. We're trying to see the talent. That's all.
Guys, you can use water, that's fine, but I need you to clean it up, okay? ¿Todo bien, Victoriano? Sí.
Keep punching underneath. Hey, no stopping. No stopping. Mucho.
Seca, Juan, ya seca, Juan, seca.
Hey, he's hitting here, no problema. Keep hitting.
Yeah.
Él no tiene nada. Deep breath. Él no tiene nada. Ese título tiene que irse a pasar.
CompuBox numbers through 3 rounds of a scheduled 12. Mayweather's thrown 49 jabs and landed 27 of them. Sosa's thrown almost the same number, 46, and is credited with landing only 4. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim, 30-27, 3 rounds to nothing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jim, I gotta tell you, he's got Victoriano Sosa looking for the left hand, and then he wraps him with that straight right hand lead. I think Floyd's just getting into better punches, making Sosa chase him. Now, 2 things I gotta talk about. Number 1, the belt. Okay, if Sosa were to win the fight, he's entitled to a belt. You don't make up a belt before a fight, so the commissioner holds Floyd's belt, gives it to Sosa if he wins on loan. So that's what that's all about. The second thing is that the gloves. Floyd Mayweather insisted on a Japanese glove called Winning. Eric Morales used the same glove. It's supposedly good to protect the guy with bad hands.
And Sosa landed a straight right hand across the top, flush on Mayweather's face, while Harold was finishing all of that up. Mayweather popping the jab in Sosa's face, but Sosa has not been discouraged at all by Mayweather's greater effectiveness in the first 3 rounds.
Mayweather can just get at home with that jab. That's what he hasn't been able to do thus far. Land consistently with that left jab. If he does, good night, Irene.
Boy, good counter right hand by Mayweather. Sosa took it and fired back a right hand of his own.
That was a big-time exchange.
Mayweather grazing Sosa.
That's the jab that Mayweather want to work.
Absolutely.
Left jab. If he can get that going, he brought it all about by going to the body with his left jab in the first few rounds.
Well, according to CompuBox, he's throwing about 20 jabs per round. Landing about half of them. There's a big right hand
hurt
by Victoriano Sosa. Big right hand.
That hurt.
Mayweather misses with the left hook. Sosa swelling around the right eye, but at no time has he appeared stunned by Mayweather's power.
Stop. Let's go.
You just can't follow a guy around just because he looks small. That fella can punch Mayweather. You don't follow him around, you're like a spider, get caught into his web.
Excellent jab by Mayweather, right on the point of the chin. Good right uppercut inside. Oh, what a quick right hand by Mayweather, and Sosa continues to walk through the power shots.
That's the big surprise for Mayweather tonight, that this guy can take these shots and keep coming back.
Because that was the kind of punch you don't see, but he walked right through it anyway.
Stop.
Mayweather's smart. When he throws that lead right hand, he throws his whole body in case he misses you. The action has to stop.
Good quick left hand by Mayweather as Sosa came in. And again, the left hook lands for Mayweather. Sosa's a bear for combat tonight, but Mayweather's tattooing him with accurate punching.
Handle your business. Keep using a hard jab. Put grease on his face, a little bit grease on his face.
Everything cool, son? Yep.
All right. Grease on his face. Keep using a hard jab, keep using the jab. Break him down slow. 1 round at a time.
Seca, Juan, seca, Juan. Cógeme, hey, cógeme aire. Cógeme aire. ¿Cómo te sientes? Oye, Santico, si tú no combinas 5 o 6 golpes, tú no te vas a ser campeón.
Santico, Sammy Sosa está mirando la pelea.
Oíste, Sammy, ¿qué tal? Tú
Sosa
tienes que
está
serte
mirando
campeón
la
del
pelea.
mundo.
More
Oíste,
pressure.
vamos a llevarnos ese título para Chicago, vamos.
Mucho pressure.
Y después...
Mayweather may not always have an unerring instinct for doing the right thing before and after fights, but during the fights, he sure does have an unerring instinct.
You talk about getting the jab going, George. By CompuBox numbers in that round, Mayweather landed 17 out of 25 jabs, 68%. That's brutal.
That's what he's been looking for all night, to get that jab going.
On the other hand, you were pointing to the monitor while they worked on Floyd Mayweather's right eye between rounds. What'd you see?
I think there's a little scratch there that he better be careful with. That little scratch could turn into a cut. He doesn't want to get into many exchanges with jabs. You want to jab and step away so the guy doesn't hit you on the side of the face anymore.
Sosa was chopping away at Mayweather along the ropes and almost fell backward himself. Looked like he lost his balance.
Sosa's trying to wait, keeps catching those jabs so he can get a right over top of Mayweather, and that's you don't want to do. Just throw the right. You don't wait.
It's very hard to hit Mayweather clean very often with the right because of how beautifully he uses his forward shoulder, the left shoulder, for defense. Almost a lost art.
It's interesting, Sosa is cast as the attacker here, and for the most part, he's got to come forward. But every once in a while, he'll counter the counterpuncher and show that he can do it too.
That's what he's trying now with Mayweather's left jab, but he gets the worst of it.
Watch your heads, la cabeza, los dos. Watch your heads, gentlemen.
Fighting Mayweather, you want him to come to you. Doesn't do well when he's going forward.
He got in a good right hand to the body there.
He's moving backwards. He's at home there.
Let him go. Salte, Soriano.
Well, in order to get him to come to you, you'd have to be ahead on the scorecards.
That's right. That's right.
And only one fighter's been close to that. That was Jose Luis Castillo. There's a good left hook by Sosa. Mayweather protecting his body. Sosa comes back upstairs. Mayweather still protecting the body with the right arm. Doesn't want to give up that left hook to the body that so many Latino fighters favor. Good popping jab by Mayweather. And again, he's got the body carefully protected.
And Mayweather's taking command of the pocket himself now. He's not stepping back, staying in the middle of the rope, even out on his defense. Just plotting, let the other guy do it.
Of course, Floyd grew up in a fighting family. His father and both of his uncles, all of them successful professional fighters. Right hand by Sosa. He thinks he hurt Mayweather, trying to go to the body.
Suelo, Victoriano. Pick up your punches. Stop at the bell. Stop!
Floyd bounces in place as if to say, I'm fine.
Good round.
He's not fine.
La toalla abajo, Juan. Ponme la toalla abajo.
As if to say, where am I?
Le gusta que le echen agua. Pónmela abajo.
Good round, baby. Huh?
Ábrela abajo. ¿Cómo te sientes? Venga otra vez.
This is necessary.
Ahí está.
Okay.
Hágalo.
Hey, round 6. Okay? Hop over. Necessary, you. Mucho attacking.
Down here. All right? No more work down there. Take some more steam out of there. All right, no problem. Take some more steam out.
Start grooving your shots a little more.
Sosa has gotten in a few clean punches like that one, but there was a bit of a push in an open or semi-open glove. He didn't hit him real clean.
Power shots in round 5. Sosa threw 44, landing only 7, but that was more than Mayweather landed, 5 out of 13. Mayweather contenting himself to land 12 of 18 jabs in the round and using that to help dominate the pocket, as George says. Sosa thought he hurt him at the end of the round, and he comes back to the same point and starts talking to Mayweather as he goes after him.
He hurt Mayweather with a right hand just there in that exchange. His right hands are really finding themselves home for Sosa.
And I'll tell you what, The more he pounds on that left shoulder, the less Mayweather uses his left hand.
That's a fact of the matter tonight. You don't know why you're not using it if you're the fighter. It just doesn't come. When Mayweather backs up, that's when the trouble starts. You got to stay in there with this guy if you're Mayweather.
Those in Fresno who ventured out to buy a ticket coming to the fight, seeing perhaps more entertainment than might have been expected.
You see how effective Mayweather is if he doesn't move backwards now? Keep command of the middle of the ring. Only when he steps back, Sosa gets the spirit to throw a left hook and a right hand.
Little lull here now as Sosa seems to want to rest up following the assault at the end of the last round at the beginning of this.
He just doesn't have a clue to what to do when Mayweather's not backing away.
And now Mayweather continues to go forward and press the action against Sosa.
You see the absence of the right hand by Sosa only because Mayweather's not moving at all backwards.
So Sosa won't fire the right hand until he sees Mayweather's lead foot going
That's
backward.
right. That's exactly what he's doing. Mayweather stands his ground, find the right foot as his pivot, doesn't back up. When he does, he's going to pay.
Now there's the 1-2 by a braver Sosa. And as these middle rounds go by, slowly, imperceptibly, Sosa is beginning to throw many more punches than Mayweather.
He's staying closer. Mayweather's not away. Now Mayweather's backing up, so that's when the trouble starts for Mayweather.
By this point in the fight, Mayweather's thrown 217 punches. Sosa's thrown 280. And in the early rounds, it was more or less even.
Mayweather hasn't thrown a good combination since the third round.
And is that a reflection of the caution that Sosa has forced into him?
No, he's just going for one shot at a time. He's throwing power shot, power jab, power right hand every now and then.
Oh, big left hook by Sosa and a counter left hook by Mayweather and a big conversation to end the round. We've got a fight in Fresno.
Dale, Javi.
Okay. Primero.
Te voy a poner el brazo fuerte para que te
right hand.
Pero tiene que no te vale, ahorita se van a la mano, ¿eh?
Okay. Necessary. Primero. Okay. Double, the left hand. Down,
Okay.
up.
Despiértame.
Mucho, mucho, mucho.
Vamos.
Okay, that's it.
Keep fighting smart. Keep fighting smart. You win every round. We got to touch him down here a little bit more. All right? Take a little more chance to the body. Take a little more chance to the body. All right? Make him waist shot. Bring him back downstairs.
The English voice in Sosa's corner is Malcolm Garrett of LaPorte, Indiana. Sosa's been training in tiny LaPorte, Indiana, up near the Michigan border for the past 6 weeks. He was there when Sammy Sosa, another Midwesterner, hit his 500th home run. Hey, Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, I think Victoriano Sosa's making his fight a little bit closer. 4 rounds to 2, 58-56. Pretty boy Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jim, I tell you, the first 4 rounds I thought Mayweather was completely in control. But the last 2 rounds, Victoriano Sosa has landed good, hard, solid power shots, just like you saw there. He's making it close.
And there's no question, George, he's targeting Mayweather's left shoulder and left arm, and just as you suggested it would, it's had an effect on the fight.
Jabs are going down. But he seemed to tell Mayweather, run backwards so I can fight you. As long as Mayweather's there, he doesn't do anything. A little punch, he's right where you want him, and he doesn't do anything.
Mayweather wobbles Sosa with the jab there.
Time.
I think there's a slippery spot.
This could be a small break for Sosa if he was in fact stunned by that punch.
They're starting to slip. So we got to get somebody with 2 towels. So in the minute period.
You heard the referee ask a commissioner at ringside to get some towels so that they can
clean it between rounds.
Yeah.
But now he's kind of advising them, well, don't fight on the wet spots, which is a bit unusual. Left took lands to Sosa.
Only when Mayweather backs away. Nothing happens if Mayweather stays in that pocket.
Sosa is beginning to out-hustle Mayweather.
This is part of what happened to Mayweather in the first fight with Castillo when some ringside critics thought he'd lost. His activity level dropped in the second half of the fight, and that gave Castillo the opportunity to come on and throw more punches.
Thanks for being fair. Let's go.
Matador stuff. Pretty good.
You see, if Mayweather is not moving backwards, Sosa even goes back. That jab is starting to have some effects on Sosa now. His head is snapping back.
That was a good jab.
Stop! Break! Let's go!
George, you lend any credence to the notion that Mayweather really wants to fight Oscar De La Hoya?
Oh, a lot of credence. I mean, the more of a disadvantage that Mayweather has is better. He's a great fighter when someone else is on him, beating him. He can fight you good.
Is he strong enough to fight somebody like Oscar? 154-pound fighter?
Put on some weight, just don't dry out, just be natural. I think he'll come in at maybe 60 himself. Oscar's a great fighter.
I think he has as much chance against Oscar as Eric Morrell, the flyweight champ, would have against him.
May 2, tune in for the premiere of On the Record with Bob Costas. For season 3, it's all new, all night, or a new night, new time, new broader focus, new shows every Friday as part of HBO's late night entertainment lineup. It's A-list guests and A-list conversation from the worlds of sports, pop culture, and entertainment.
Have you ever used steroids?
No.
Would you ever consider them under any circumstances?
I don't have to.
On the Record, starting May 2, only on HBO.
Go mañana. Yeah. You must do it now. You must attacking, repeating, attacking, repeating. Se fue. Mucho punches. Te paraste. Vamos. No te pensé.
Floyd Mayweather's dominated the jab category. The last couple of rounds were more about power punching.
Sosa's corner is asking him for mucho punches.
In the 7th round, Mayweather only threw 27 punches. He landed 11. That's a high connect percentage, 41%. Sosa was only 6 out of 62. Can you win a round landing only 6 punches? Well, maybe if your opponent threw fewer than half the punches you did, because activity and aggression is one of the things that catches the eyes of judges.
Hands are free, mano libres.
Sosa keeps his left hand up pretty good. Mayweather's having a rough time aiming in a good right hand.
And Sosa has very good head movement, as you saw him duck a punch from Mayweather there.
Back to the body again, Mayweather. You try to go to the body 3 or 4 times to make the guy reach down and protect his body, and that's when you go to the head. But Mayweather doesn't consistently keep his jab in his body enough to make him drop his hand.
4 straight jabs for Mayweather. Between the guard, over the guard. Sosa slows down when Mayweather goes back to pumping the jab. Mayweather half blocking the right hand with his left shoulder there. Larry made a good point earlier about how well Floyd uses the left shoulder for defense. Now Floyd beginning to seize a little more of the initiative again as he goes back to throwing his jab with greater frequency.
If he shows any chance of backing up, Sosa takes advantage of it. And this is when a counter-puncher have a lot of trouble. He starts doing a lot better when he's moving forward, throwing shots, but he doesn't like it. That's what happened to Mayweather. He doesn't like it, being an aggressor. He just does not like it.
right, stop. Nice
Well, his father,
nice
Floyd, himself essentially a defensive fighter, trained Floyd to be a largely defensive fighter, mostly a defensively oriented trainer, and some say a genius in that regard. But if you start thinking defense first, that's a mentality that goes through your whole career.
And when you're a header and you can beat a guy, if you go forward, you still can't do it because it's taking over your life.
There's a lot of cheering and excitement in the arena. You can tell that there are a large number of people here who may not have had an opportunity to go to a professional prize fight of this caliber before and are truly enjoying the chance. We've seen that in Portland, now here in Fresno, various places along the trail.
They see an upset.
You're gonna have to work more. Okay. Man, he told me, see, keep working. Okay, keep working. Keep fighting smart, keep working. Don't work, keep working. Put him down here.
Keep your hands, baby.
Okay.
Pick up the pace, baby. Pick up your boxing.
Here's a look at a montage of defense, of the craftsmanship of Mayweather. That's a skill that he learned when he was almost just out of the crib, and very few fighters employ it as effectively and smoothly.
Down here. All right.
Of course, Floyd and his father split a couple of years back. Now he's trained by his uncle Roger, who also shepherded the early part of his professional career. Roger was more of an offensive fighter.
And more successful than Senior as a professional prize fighter.
Total in round 8, Mayweather 19 out of 30, Sosa 8 out of 53. And again, that question comes up. Could the guy who landed 8 out of 53 win a round from the guy who landed 19 out of 30? Sometimes it happens.
A lot of momentum. It changes things.
Crowd oohs and ahs for those punches that are landed by Sosa. They know that Mayweather's a huge favorite.
And I think they suspected they'd see a pushover tonight. They had no idea that Sosa would come in and give an account of himself like this.
Well, there's a lot of the general public that thinks that the competitive margins in boxing are wide. They're not. The competitive margins in boxing are by nature relatively small because this sport requires so much hard work, so much dedication, so much commitment over a long haul in the gym.
Yeah, you see a guy, what is the title fight doing in Fresno? Must not be anything, but this fight could have held its on anyway.
Stop!
So the fans here are getting a treat.
Mayweather back to the jabs. One at a time, one at a time. Sosa crawling more and more, jumping forward now.
See how well Mayweather does when he get to move and some activity going. Just doesn't be lazy. He can do a lot of things, but he just sits. He truly would like to wait.
But he says he wants to be more of a crowd pleaser and fight more exciting fights. The simple fact of the matter is his very best and most effective style is not particularly crowd pleasing.
Unless he has a tiger in him.
That's right. Diego Corrales came after him, and he got him out of there in what was arguably his best fight.
He caught Angel Manfredi with early shots and knocked him out in 2. That looked sensational, but that was about Manfredi mistakes. Now Mayweather switches southpaw for the first time in the fight, and Sosa rakes him with a right hand to the body, and Mayweather switches right back.
It appears now that Mayweather has decided just to win the fight. Early on, he was looking to see if Sosa was vulnerable and was throwing a lot of big shots. Now he has settled back into his boxing style.
He's moving over, he's bobbing and weaving now, trying to get in a left hook to the body. Throwing power shots to the body. He didn't want to do that at first.
Wonder if he may live to regret that choice, given that one of the 3 judges here, Jack Woodburn of Canada, has only judged 1 previous title fight, not a particularly experienced judge.
You won that round. You won that round.
Once you be in first.
You got to be busy for it. You got to be busy, and you got to work. Okay? Okay. Work.
By the way, the other two judges are veterans Lou Filippo and Chuck Hassett of California. Larry?
Yeah, arguably the most effective punches that Mayweather has thrown tonight is that stiff, poleaxing jab.
You stay right there and use the next change with him. All right? All right here. Give me some. Okay. Give me some, okay? Okay. Hands be busy. Stay close to that move. Hands busy. All right?
So we've got 9 rounds in the book. Already, Victoriano Sosa of the Dominican Republic has thrown 120 more punches by CompuBox estimate than has Floyd Mayweather Jr. Harold, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, Jim, 6 rounds to 3, 87-84, Floyd Mayweather Jr. You know, he got off to that big 4-0 lead on my card. Sosa came back and looked terrific for 3 rounds. I thought he hammered Floyd for 3 rounds. But then the last 2 rounds, 8 and 9, somehow or another, his activity just stopped. Mayweather started popping him with jabs and won those 2 rounds.
Chopping right hand by Mayweather in that exchange was the most effective blow, but Sosa came back with several attempted punches. Now he pops Mayweather with a jab.
Yeah. The question now is, will Sosa open up so much that Mayweather will be able to hit him with a crushing punch?
Now there's a strange delay going on. Sosa thinks they're still fighting. Mayweather thinks they're wiping moisture up off the canvas, and the referee can't seem to decide exactly what it is they're doing. And there's a hard right hand across the top by Sosa.
All because Mayweather gets lazy in there. He's trying to maybe get a piece of tape or something off the bottom of his shoes. That's what happened. Get something stuck on the shoes and it aggravates. But he better wait until the bell rings and ask his corner to take it away. Let them do it.
One thing I noticed, Harold had it 6 rounds to 3. But if a judge saw the thing the same way as Harold up until the last 2 rounds and gave those 2 rounds to Sosa, not out of the question, he could be leading in the fight.
Mayweather's starting to connect with the right hand that has been elusive, that target has been elusive all night. Now he's connecting with the right hand. And I think that's all he needs to change things dramatically if he just get with that right hand on top.
Good double left hook by Mayweather there. One up top, then the second one to the body.
He's getting the range for the right hand, Mayweather.
Sosa starting to throw fewer, maybe trying to load up the one punch.
I agree, Jim. That's what he's trying to do, just as he did against Spadafora. Now he feels he's behind and he has to land something to change the course of the fight.
Well, that's not going to help him. The best way for him to fight would be to let his hands go and try to double Mayweather's punch output, like that. Throw combinations.
That shoe shine has been there for both fighters all night. He was the first one to take advantage of it.
3 good jabs by Mayweather kept Sosa away for the moment. Then he bears in and drives Mayweather to the ropes. More good defense from Floyd. He really has the great feet.
Round 11. 2 rounds. 6 minutes. Dámele agua. 6 minutos. You want to be champion? Necessary. Hey, primero destra. Muy importante. Hey, muy importante. Primero destra. Okay? You gotta let this right hand go. Okay? Muy importante.
All right. All right, we need some work now. We need some work. That's all we need work.
Somebody's gonna fall.
Give me some work. Work.
Come on, man. Come on.
Vintage Mayweather round in the 10th. 18 out of 24 jabs, 75%. 7 out of 12 power shots. All in all, 25 out of 36. Sosa landed only a couple of punches in the round. Mayweather seems to have a possible working margin now. Last 2 rounds of the fight.
Bad thing about boxers, they always save some for the last 2 rounds. I've never appreciated that.
What do you mean, George? You think the aggressor runs out of steam at the end?
Yeah, a good boxer, he counts on 12 rounds. So he saved those last 2 rounds. He's got something left. Could have taken a guy out with the same stuff. Could have got a knockout if he just used that reserve that he was holding back for. He could have got a knockout earlier.
Hey, speaking of stamina, remember where you were 12 years ago today, George?
12 years today.
You fought Evander Holyfield in Atlantic City 12 years ago tonight.
That's why I couldn't remember.
What a memorable fight
got
that
hit too
was.
many times.
You hit him a few times yourself, big guy.
Yeah, you didn't hold much back, George.
Thrilling fight. And even though lost by George Foreman, a victory of sorts, it legitimized him as a heavyweight contender in his 2nd career.
But Mayweather's weaving now, trying to get to that body. Sosa's kind of hold back, protecting his side now. And that's when those left jabs start getting you, when you start trying to protect your body.
I think you can probably count the number of serious body punches that Mayweather has thrown in this fight on 1, maybe 2 hands.
He got in one good in this particular round. That was another one.
And there's another one, right hand to the body by Mayweather.
The guy drops his hand now. Sosa's hands are down a little bit. That's what you want.
And for the first time in the fight, Sosa looks a little weary. As he lands a right hand across the top, but his arms are dropping. He doesn't appear to have the same stiffness that he's shown throughout the fight.
Mayweather's tapping on that body a little bit at a time. That hurts.
You can see as he goes backwards, Sosa just not as sure in his footing as he has been through most of the fight. Mayweather has broken him down a little bit with constant, solid contact.
Marching him down, they call it with that jab now. Marching him. You throw the jab, and then the guy thinks it's coming again, and you start throwing the right hand. That right hand has not been there all night for Mayweather. It's there now.
Sosa's hands have gotten slower, and Mayweather is now able to land more or less at will. That was a very easy round for Floyd Mayweather.
You gonna fight, you don't like it when you walking to him. Keep walking to him. That's how you beat a ball. Right now, take advantage of this. Beat the ball. Keep moving back.
Tú tienes que dar un knockdown o pisar un knockout. Okay.
Delgado, let the right hand go first from outside.
Tú tienes que tirar de la derecha, de afuera. Tiene de la derecha.
Very important. Let the right hand go first from outside.
Give me combination. We don't need that one jab, so we need combination.
Keep your hand busy.
Keep your hand busy. You grind him out of there, okay?
Well, over the long haul, class tells, going into the 12th round by CompuBox numbers, Floyd Mayweather has landed 59% of his jabs, almost 60%, and 55% of his total punches. And Sosa is landing only 14% of his total punches, even though throwing many more than Mayweather. Harold, how do you have it coming to the last round?
Okay, Jim, 106, 103, 7 rounds to 4, Floyd Mayweather Jr. No doubt about that 11th round. You know, somehow or another, at crunch time, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is great. He really is. Starts to land that jab and whacks Sosa with a right hand. Sosa's huffing and puffing at this point. I love that shoe shine in round 10, though. I just couldn't score against that. I'm glad George recognized it.
This has not been the sensational victory that Mayweather had hoped for, but it's a very good win against an eager opponent.
Mayweather, if he had only gambled the 11th round, he could have had a knockout. It's right there for him tonight, but he's cautious, too cautious.
Does it matter, George? Is it important enough to get a knockout?
Yeah, he should leave us with a knockout tonight. He want to talk about fighting the big boys. Give us something to talk about.
Crowd up on its feet.
They want him to do it.
I think they're rooting for Sosa to do something. They believe it's a closer fight than it probably is.
This is when guys like Oscar De La Hoya, they'll go for you. They will try to clean you out. They don't even like decisions. He's right there for Mayweather. All he has to do is take a gamble.
But you saw the counterpuncher in his soul as he made Sosa miss and danced away.
That's right. Put on your dancing shoes tonight.
Once a boxer, always a boxer.
And let me tell you, Mayweather pops. He carries some punching power around, but he doesn't seem to want to use it tonight.
Well, he reduces himself often to landing one punch at a time.
You know, most of his sensational wins were at 130. Since moving up to 135, this is his third fight. And he hasn't been able to put a serious dent into his opponents as a full lightweight.
He could have gotten a knockout tonight, I tell you that. He just, the power, everything is there.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear what Floyd tells us about this, assuming he gets the decision win that he appears to deserve.
Great fight. Tremenda pelea los dos. Shake hands.
I had Mayweather winning 9 rounds to 3.
And Harold Letterman has Mayweather winning 8 rounds to 4. So we'll see what the 3 official judges say. Chuck Hassett and Lou Filippo, both of them longtime California judges with very deep dossiers. It's the 55th title fight for Filippo and the 69th title fight for Hassett. But the third judge, Jack Woodburn of Canada, has only judged one previous title fight. That was Jones Woods in Portland, Oregon. Not a terribly difficult fight to judge. And of course, it wound up being a TKO 6 for Jones, so scorecards weren't critical on that particular night. You heard Larry say that he thought the crowd perceived it to be a closer fight. Some of that, of course, probably wishful thinking. You're not going to get to go to that many big-time prize fights in your life. You want it to be close.
I think not. They were pulling for Mayweather. He had a knockout right there on the table.
I felt so, too. I kind of felt like the crowd was standing up because they were hoping Floyd would go ahead and reward them with a knockout.
Reward them. That's what he would have done tonight, giving them a reward by getting a knockout.
I can't always figure out where I stand on these George Foreman versus Larry Merchant debates, but this time I think I'm with you.
Oh, great. Larry, I got you.
Well, it's rare. Last week I was with him. Bob Arum standing above us and smiling as Mayweather charts another win. The on-again, off-again promoter-fighter relationship there will be good if Mayweather won. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Chuck Hassett scores the contest 118 to 110. Lou Filippo scores at 119 to 109. And John Woodburn scores at 118 to 110. All for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the WBC lightweight champion of the world, Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather.
Well, clearly, some members of the crowd felt they had seen something completely opposite from the way the judges scored the bout, and we would remind you there is a very large Mexican-American and otherwise Hispanic-American population here in the San Joaquin Valley. Maybe that created some allegiance in the house for Sosa. Final CompuBox numbers become a wipeout as Mayweather in these last few rounds was so accurate winding up landing 55%, as I mentioned, of the total, and the numbers which are listed here. Jabs, Mayweather 147 out of 256, or 246. And you can see Sosa only 12 out of 182. And as Sosa waves to the crowd from the top rope, a large number of the fans here are applauding him, which tells us, among other things, that they haven't seen that many big-time prize fights, at least not up close. Let's go to Larry with Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Thank you very much, Jim. Floyd, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Why do you think this crowd is so unhappy at this result?
Well, first of all, he's a Hispanic fighter, and most of the fans here are Hispanic. But first of all, I want to thank God for this victory, because without him, this wouldn't be possible.
Was he a more interesting challenge, shall we say, than you expected?
I already knew he was tough. That's why I wasn't looking past him. He was tough. He was a solid opponent, but, you know, I stuck to the game plan, box. You know, a lot of shots, you know, the people were looking at was hitting me on my shoulders and on my arm, because I'm a defensive fighter.
You came in saying that after your 2 fights with Castillo, you wanted a sensational outcome. Yeah, you give me your appraisal of your fight.
I feel this fight was more exciting than the Castillo fight. It's getting better. Like I said before, if I stay more active, I'm going to be more exciting, because, you know, the less I fight, you know, I'm not going to look so great. But, you know, like I said before, I'm just happy with the victory tonight.
This is the 3rd time you have fought a full lightweight at 135 pounds. You've gone 36 rounds. You haven't really been able to damage them. Is this your really wish your limit in terms of your power and strength should be?
Not at all. Like I said before, this guy, he was a solid opponent. And you can look at his record and see he was a solid opponent. But, you know, I took my time and went out there and done what I had to do. The main thing is winning, and Floyd Mayweather won tonight.
Who would you like to fight next?
Whoever steps to the plate, you know. Floyd Mayweather is willing to fight and take on all comers. And I'm just.
You know who the other lightweights out there? Give us a name.
Well, you know, Paul Spatterford, Leonard Dorian, any of those guys. You know, Floyd Mayweather is willing to fight any of those guys whenever.
Thank you very much, Floyd. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Larry. George, your final report card on Floyd Mayweather tonight.
He's just too good to be true. A good fighters like that, they don't ever are able to give 100% of themselves. He's out there giving us about 60% because he's that good. Once someone challenges him enough and he'll give 100%, you will walk away saying, this guy is something special. We've only seen it once so far.
Paul Spatterford is going to fight Leonard Dorian in about a month and a half, and the winner of that fight will have 2 title belts in the division. So that sets up a fight for Floyd Mayweather that probably isn't going to be all that overwhelmingly exciting to the general public. Should he move up to 140 pounds and try to chase Castillo?
No doubt about it. Get up and weight. Create some excitement. He's big enough. He's got power. Put on some more weight, he'll get extra power. I think he should move up and show us something.
All right, that's interesting. Larry, welcome back. George says he thinks Floyd Mayweather should move up in weight because he'll have more exciting fights in the 140-pound division than he's had here. Your take?
I think they probably would be more exciting, and he would be in more jeopardy. So let me do a couple of closing thoughts.
I'd love to have those closing thoughts.
I know, Jim, you look forward to them. The boxing circus moves through Fresno, California. Not many great fighters have come from here, although there is a statue outside this building of somebody, one Corbett.
Young Corbett.
Young Corbett III.
That's right.
And we looked up his record, and young Corbett beat Jackie Fields for the welterweight title. He was actually an Italian-born fighter. Beat Jackie Fields for the welterweight title, and in his next fight, he was stopped in 1 round. So he had a 1-round defense of his title by the great Jimmy McLarnin.
Incidentally, that's the crowd showing their love for Floyd Mayweather as he leaves the ring. Go ahead.
The real heavyweights from this region are the writers, and of course, William Saroyan comes from Fresno. Many other outstanding writers.
John Steinbeck.
John Steinbeck, with your going back to your early
Grapes and Wrath, yes.
Of your Grapes and Wrath. This is the raisin capital of the world. We were happy to bring the circus through town, and happier still that we had a pretty good show.
I agree. Meanwhile, every Wednesday for the past 6 weeks, we've been debuting our documentary series, Legendary Nights, the series that tracks the 12 most outstanding stories in the 30 years of boxing here on HBO. 3 nights ago, the Meldrick Taylor versus Julio Cesar Chavez story aired. Let's take a brief look now at the...
Could lay a glove on my part.